Hey everybody, welcome back to Hitpoint, a JRPG news show, an anime news show, a niche news show, a show where Baku and I will talk about everything and anything that sparks our interest. We'll be talking about RPGs, anime, niche, whatever gets us excited. We'll be previewing some trailers, talking about rumors. We'll be answering some questions from comments from the super chats at the end of the day's episode. Baku,
Wow.
did you know that we stream live every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern? How have you been, buddy?
Wow, you nailed it.
Oh my goodness.
You nailed it. You got
I nailed
wow.
it.
Wow.
New year, new me.
Amazing.
Yes.
New year, new Derek.
Oh my goodness. Guys,
you're getting ripped in chat already. Oops, I thought this was the SuperDerek RPG stream. I thought so too until I crashed into it.
Oh man. Hey guys, it is so good to see you. Baku, it has been about a week since we last saw. A little less.
Yes.
A little less
6
than a
days.
week. You know, close enough.
Yes. Yeah,
Guys,
close enough.
I am hyped for today's show. How hyped are you, Baku?
I am hyping responsibly.
Good call. You know, that's the right answer. That is the appropriate answer. I appreciate you. Shop.superderekRPGs.com. Get yourself a Hype Responsibly t-shirt.
Get that shirt. It's a good shirt.
Man, by the way, oh, you know what? Here, let me just take a moment here to send a link here to RPGs.com.
Yeah. Okay. So speaking of the Hype Responsibly shirt, I got so many compliments when I wore that at MacFest. Did I tell you that? I didn't tell you that. No. I got so many compliments.
Really?
They looked at the shirt. I mean, first of all, the color is nice, right? It's like this mint green, right? So so they say it. It's eye catching. They see it, and then they see the like Hype Responsibly, but the font. So they like squint closer. They're like, oh. What is that? What does that mean? What's Hype Responsibility? Like, so that I explained it to them, and then they're like, "Oh, that's really cool. Where can I get it?"
Did you draw a
I'm
link?
sorry. I don't know where to get it.
You get it at shop.superderekrpgs.com, and you can find it in a link. Actually, I'll just pin that for now because you might want to look at that a little later on.
If you had just gone to MacFest,
oh my God,
you could have told people where to get the shirt, and that could have like made up the cost of your trip.
Oh my God, I know you're probably right.
I don't know.
But hey, guys, we've got a couple things going on this week that I can't wait to tell you about. But let's go ahead and just kind of start with recapping some of the really awesome comments that we got from last week.
Yes. Oh my God. Let's start with talking about Slice of Life. So we've got a voicemail from last show talking about favorite slice of life, and Derek and I both gave our answers, and so did a lot of you. We have to notice. So we've captured a couple. So here are some recommendations from you all. Here's Uramichi Oni-san. Uramichi Oni-san, I think it's like I forgot what this thing is about. It's a slice of life. I think it talks about a guy who does like children's show. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Then we've got March Comes In Like a Lion, which I highly recommend. March Comes In Like a Lion is an amazing show that talks about Go, which is kind of like I don't know if you guys know. Yeah, so it's kind of like Hikari no Go, like that same game. Yeah, yes. But I've heard
incredible
stuff.
Things about it.
Yeah, March Comes In Like a Lion is really good, but it's about Go, but really it's about exploring a person who is probably on the the person's probably like has Asperger. Like they don't explicitly say it, but so like he's just like straight up like a genius in doing these things, but he just doesn't get people, and you get to like delve into his mind and how he thinks about things and how he reacts. It's very, very interesting. The art's amazing. K-On!, which I talked about, and you guys seem to agree. Lucky Star, which Derek had talked about. Yeah, and it was incredible. Super Cub was brought up. Super Cub is a anime, I think, that talks about like motorbikes, a bunch of girls who's like in a moped club, I think. Pretty interesting stuff. But the comment that really won the entire comment section came from Chapter Black, who said, "Isn't Angel Beats Slice of Afterlife?" I hate it so much, but I loved it. So I'm like, all right, you've won the comment section for
Oh,
the day, sir.
mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for that.
Oh, yeah. We also got another couple of awesome chats that just kind of made our day. Here's one from I think it's Sis Shadow X, who says,
Mhm.
"Glad you guys are back. New year, new games, and new fun. I've been watching SuperDerek since about 2014. I'm a sub for life."
Wow.
Well, that's
2014?
old school. I
Wow.
started my channel back in 2013. No,
Hmm.
no, no. No, 2012?
Hmm.
Might have been
Yeah, at
2012.
some point you just forget. That's okay.
I mean, I'm coming up
That's
on my
just
10-year
you're
anniversary. I know
old.
that. Yeah, 2023. So I'm coming
Mm-hmm.
upon, or yeah, so it's 2013 was when I started. So I'm coming
Mm.
upon my 10-year anniversary this year,
Got
which
any
is
fun stuff planned for your 10 year?
no. I kind of did my big fun thing planned.
Mm-hmm.
That was my whole Earthbound thing when I planned it. So I did like my 100th review was a re-review of Earthbound. That was like my big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm just like 10 years. Yeah, that's cool.
I think you should do something fun for 10
I
years. Maybe
should.
just find some clips in the past 10 years and just
Mm-hmm.
make like a little
A clip show.
montage and easy
Yeah.
easy video. Just go back and clip some stuff and just stitch them together and just be like, "Yay, happy 10 years, guys."
Yeah,
You
maybe I
know?
should. We'll
Mm,
see.
mm.
Uh we also got another one here from Andy Curtis you want to talk about?
Yes. Thank you for the comments about Octopath. I enjoy the art and music and gameplay, but I thought they really dropped the ball on character growth interaction. Yeah, I agree. Hoping Octopath 2 is better in that aspect, to which you
Yeah.
actually responded and you guys had like a pretty good conversation there, so I captured it. Yeah, no, absolutely something that the developers had voiced, that they had, what is it, they've heard the feedback
Oh yeah.
and
Loud and
they
clear.
work loud and clear. Like that's the thing that didn't work out. I think it's great, like they came up with a new IP. It's brand new. They kind of dropped the ball. The fan had responded, they listened, and they say, hey, we've heard you, we're gonna absolutely make sure that we keep all the things that's good and fix all the things that you guys didn't like so much. Like that's how it should be. That's how it should be. So, like unless they're saying, hey, like actually we did this on purpose. We were trying to stick to the gun.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of respect that too, but like no,
Sure.
they're saying like yes, this is something that we hear from you all, and we also agree that that was not done as well as it could be. So
Yeah.
hopefully Octopath 2 will be great. I ordered
Let's
the
hope
limited
so.
edition. Don't mess up, Square Enix.
They've been doing okay. They've been doing hit and miss. Let's hope that this one's another hit.
They're constantly hit and miss. It's just so turbulent with Square Enix.
I
Like,
know.
I don't know what
It's
to say
because
about them.
it's a company of so many different
Hmm.
silos, and I
Yeah.
think that that is serving to protect some of the really talented folks,
Mhm.
but it's also definitely not helping some of the people with bad ideas.
Yeah, but the division that's responsible for Octopath and Triangle Strategy, I think they've been doing
Oh
consistently
yeah,
pretty good work. I mean, sure. Yeah.
I don't have faith in Square Enix, but I have faith in that division. I think
This is
that's what I'll
Division
say.
3? I think it's
I,
Division 3.
I don't
I don't
even
remember.
know because
Yeah.
they reorganized a while back, and I don't even
Mhm.
know what the numbers are anymore. But
Yeah, but yeah, I have faith in them.
sure,
Triangle Strategy was pretty good, from all I've heard. I mean, there'll always be some things that people don't like, but overall, response has been great. So
that's right.
yeah.
So we got another voicemail this week. In fact, 2 weeks in a row. So I'll go ahead and play this one here for us.
Hey guys, long time listener, first time caller here. God, I've always wanted to say that. My question for you guys would be, Derek, Baku, what tie-in game in a style of the new RPG tie-ins like Dragon Ball Kakarot or even like the Fairy Tale game for all the issues that it has, would you guys like to see next? I feel like that's a type of game that's kind of been going up in quality, even if just slightly. And there's a lot of potential there. Growing up, I always wanted a 3D open world Legacy of Goku style game, and that's essentially what Kakarot gave me. Personally, my answer would be a slightly more condensed Dragon Ball game about the OG Dragon Ball series. But what series would you guys like to see take on that perspective in a game?
I've got two.
Great
I've got
question.
two ready. I've got two
You got
ready
two
to go.
ready. You
'Cause
want to
I've been
throw
thinking
one and
about
we'll
it.
just take turn?
Yeah, sure. Let's
Yeah.
go ahead, and since he mentioned Dragon Ball and how Dragon Ball Kakarot kind of did things really nicely, you know, there's another anime that's near and dear to my heart from around that same time, and that is Yu Yu Hakusho. And Yu Yu Hakusho has so much. It's so much of that tournament style kind of anime arcs going on with it
Yeah.
that I could see that translating really well to a similar sort of like modern day beat 'em up kind of RPG thing with, you know, you have four main characters that you could like switch between as they do different stuff, you know, all sorts of different like enemies of the week sort of deals. If they just go through the story of Yu Yu Hakusho, man, could you imagine? That would be so good. I love that. I don't know if you ever saw it, but it was definitely one of the shonen anime of my youth that really like
Yeah.
shaped my you know my love for that specific genre of anime.
Yeah, I think, and I might be overstating this. I can see chat getting angry with what I'm about to say, but I think Yu Yu Hakusho actually really popularized this whole like tournament thing.
Oh yeah.
Like
I mean,
they've
Yu Yu
absolutely,
Hakusho and along with Dragon Ball, like the two really kind of solidified that whole genre, I think.
Yeah, I mean, and specifically with Yu Yu Hakusho, because like with Dragon Ball, it was like the was it the Tenkai something? Yeah, but like
Tenkaichi Budokai.
Yeah, Budokai. Yeah, and it was kind of like it's what is it? It's kind of a plot device more so, but like with Yu Yu Hakusho, they went full on. It was just like teams of people coming in to fight, and each of these teams have like special abilities and backstories. Like,
and they're all life and death situations too.
Yeah,
like,
and it's crazy.
Fights to the death, and it's not like sometimes people might get out without dying, but like Yusuke puts everything on the line every time he fights, and it's so wonderful. It's so fun.
I love Yu Yu Hakusho. Yeah, I just wish that someone dropped the ball with the like with the arc that happens after the
Toguro.
Yeah, after
Dark
that,
Tournament.
yeah, it kind of like they kind of dropped the ball, and
so there's
I'm
a couple.
hoping,
it really peaked at the end of the Dark Tournament arc, I think, and following that, there was some really interesting things with like the one about, was it,
and his ancestor and such. Like it's a whole bunch of things like that happens like in the underworld.
There's his predecessor, and then there's the following arc, because there's those two, and I feel like it really peaked in Dark Tournament, but that's okay. It's still a lot of fun. I think it's because I feel like Togashi probably felt a little pigeonholed into doing a lot of tournament arcs after the Dark Tournament, and I don't know if his heart was really in it after that.
I mean, for better or for worse, like the tournament and training art became a kind of a staple, but not in a way that maybe Western fans are thinking about. I don't know if we ever talk about this, but like shonen manga, like Jump manga, like the way that the release schedules work is like we don't really see a whole lot of things until like an anime comes out, but the mangakas, the person who's drawing and designing and writing the stories, like this is one person, right? And they're on like a weekly schedule, right, to do these. So if they have no idea, you know what they're gonna fall back on? Tournament and training arc, because like they're easy, like they're just no brainer, and so that kind of,
and everybody loves
like,
them,
and people love it. So they're not like they're not mad at whatever they're seeing, right? So in any case, like the system kind of like pushes them to do something like this. So for better or for worse, I guess, because if you've been around and you've been reading and watching shonen anime, it gets a little repetitive. Like, oh, here we are. Here's the training arc. Up here we are. Here's the battle arc. Naruto, right? Bleach, same stuff, more or less the same
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, Bleach was not a tournament. Bleach was,
I mean, it kind of was though. It was a disguised tournament arc.
Yeah. Where he goes in to save
Rukia?
Rukia. Yeah, but it's
Yep.
kind of the same seas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just fighting one after another in a very enclosed part, you know. And
But you have that system to thank, right? Again, for better or for worse. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's just that's what they tend towards. Sorry, that was a little bit of a
that's okay. You had to stall for a little bit so you could think of your anime.
Yes, actually, no, I have one ready to go from the get-go, and that's Gintama. I would definitely have a Gintama tie-in. So they did have a Gintama tie-in game that was only released in Southeast Asia for English, and it was never released in the West, I think.
Did I see you? Did I watch you play that at one point?
I did play it. I streamed it, and it was okay. It wasn't great. It was kind of like a Muso kind of game where you just fight a bunch of people, and it's fun. It's fun for fans specifically. But I think if they did a Gintama game in the style of like a Yakuza game, that would be amazing. Because get this right. So Gintama takes place in Edo, right? Which is basically Tokyo. And the guy basically lives in Kabukicho, which wouldn't you know it? It's basically the same as Kamurocho that Kiryu and Co like do a whole bunch of their stuff. So it's like basically the same city. So, you know, I could definitely see like Gintoki running around, doing different odd jobs in the city and doing different fun side quests, kind of like how Yakuza does it.
Yeah.
And just like fight random foes on the street, like Yakuza style. And it's not like they've never had like a different anime tie into the Yakuza series. There's the Fist of the North Star one, and that one's a lot of fun. So it's not like they've never done it. So if they did Fist of the North Star, so like Yakuza game, but with Gintama instead, I think that's just like a match made in heaven. I keep thinking about it, but yeah,
that's really awesome. So the other game that I had in mind from the start was Hunter x Hunter, which has, I mean, it's also by Tagashi, of course, as you no doubt know, and I'm kind of a fanboy of his, but also Hunter x Hunter has the tournament arc, but it has a world outside of the tournament arc that I think he learned from a lot when he moved away from Yu Yu Hakusho. Like it doesn't just fall apart or rely on tournament after tournament. It has the really big, well-realized world. And if you've gotten to the what was it called, Greed Island arc, that would translate really well, I think, in and of itself into a really fun kind of gameplay. Especially if you could replicate the whole thing where it's reliant upon cards. You could use sort of like a menu-based, card-based combat system to replicate that. It'd be pretty fun, I bet.
Man, I would play it. I would play the heck out of it. You know what? I'm kind of waiting for that One Piece game to show up at my door. Did I tell you what happened with the One Piece game?
What's that?
So the release date was the 13th. So this past Friday was the release date. And I thought that because I pre-ordered it, you know, they would send it out and it would get to my residence more or less on the 13th. Maybe a little earlier, maybe a little later. No, they shipped it off on the 13th. So, and it takes 7 to 10 days. So I'm not expecting to see this until at least next week, maybe even the week after. So I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I'm paying extra money to support this thing just to get it laid. But it's fine because my stream schedule, I wouldn't be touching it anyway, so it's fine. But still, like I feel just a little slighted, but once I rationalize it, it's like it actually doesn't really matter. Like, don't get mad at this. It's fine. Life goes on. It's fine. But yeah, no, that's a great idea. I hope that someone's taking notes from Japan. Do we have any viewers from like Bandai or something listening in on this? You
All
get
right.
these ideas?
So we actually had one more call here, and I'll go ahead and play that.
We have 2 calls?
Here. We all know this game stinks, but you know what else stinks? Ness in his stupid hat eating hamburgers right out of a trash can. Gross! Sweaty photographers and their fuzzy pickles. Greasy pizza from Mock Pizza. The Runway 5 and their stupid shows. And that SuperDerek with his new zip-up hoodie and that stupid hair. Whatever you do, don't pre-order your made-to-order Earthbound-inspired SuperDerek hoodie that comes with 5 original disgusting scratches, zips, stickers. Smell you later.
This one-time run on SuperDerek exclusives will be made to order and shipped out in January. Pre-orders close on January 22nd. Visit shop.superderekrpgs.com today. Get it on a limited time drop.
Wow. What a caller.
What?
Wow. Wow. First of all, insulting Derek's hair? Just what?
Oh, I know. How rude.
Wow. How dare?
I don't know about you, but this Pokey Kid sounds like a real bad apple. But for real, I figured that was as good as time as any to drop that little commercial here for the new hoodie that is made by our friends at Switch Wicked.
Hey.
They have this really cool. Okay, it's kind of hard to show off.
You're stretching it.
There's my super cool like pocket print. This is screen printed, not like direct to garment. It feels super nice and comfortable. It's real. You have no idea how comfortable the inside of this is. It's almost like a fleece on the inside, and then on the outside it's just it's so dang nice.
I mean, if the shirt's any indication, then yeah, I would say that this is probably going to be super, super nice feeling. They did a great job with that shirt.
They really did. And also, I don't know how well this captured through with that commercial, but these are all coming with some homemade DIY scratch and sniff stickers that I'm making for all of you who order this hoodie or the t-shirt. By the way, there's also a t-shirt option available that costs less than the hoodie if you're strapped for cash. These scratch and sniff stickers are a lot of fun, and I designed them all myself. Made like the little trash burger hamburger guy, the little Tapala Theater sticker, or the ticket that you like use to get the backstage pass. I made them all, and they all smell like stuff. Oh yeah, no, they don't smell like garbage. I had to work hard to make sure they don't smell like garbage. They smell really good, actually. But you'll have to find out when you get them what they actually smell like. And I thought that would be like a nice little kind of throwback, since it's like an Earthbound inspired hoodie. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do like an Earthbound inspired ad campaign. So this hoodie stinks, and you can get yours at shop.superderekrpgs.com. Link is currently pinned to the chat, and there will be a link in the description later down, wherever. So make sure you check it out if you're interested. And even if you're not, that'd be,
just check it out anyway.
Yeah, it'd be cool. And by the way, make sure to check out the other stuff they got there at Switch Wicked's website. It's our officially licensed SuperDerek merchandise, and you can also get yourself a Hitpoint t-shirt as well. Shipping is very reasonable, especially when you bundle up a few different shirts. I don't even think it changes. I could be mistaken about that, but you can save on shipping by bundling up. It's awesome.
Man, Switch Wicked is in the chat like, Gary.
They're in the chat. They can correct me. They can correct me if I got that wrong.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I think. Anyways. So that's that. So let's go ahead and move along to our next section here, which is going to be some of the updates to previous releases.
Yes. All right. So let's talk a little bit about this little game here called Dragon Quest Treasures. I don't think it needs any introduction, but for any of you who are uninitiated, Dragon Quest is, of course, one of the longest running JRPG, and their newest spin-off, Dragon Quest Treasures, stars Eric from what is it called, DQ11, and also his
sister Mia.
His sister Mia. Now, if you've been on the fence about the game because it doesn't play like a traditional Dragon Quest, well, you can now try it before you buy it, because the demo is now available on the Switch eShop. And get this, the save data from the demo can carry into the full game. So you're not just wasting time playing the demo. You know, if you like it and you buy the game, you can just use that save data.
Yeah. And
more company needs to do that. Yeah, more company.
It's actually like a really fun game, but it's definitely not like your standard Dragon Quest game. So for sure, you'll definitely want to make sure that you try it, especially if it gives you vibes of like, maybe I'll like it, maybe I won't. Do you know about how long this demo is? Did the thing say?
It hasn't said anything about that. And if it did, I missed it.
Okay.
I just know it's available, so go give it a shot.
Definitely
if you're on the fence.
And by the way, everybody, Switch Wicked did just verify that it is flat fee for shipping, both international as well as domestic. So bundle up to save on shipping, and it's really awesome.
Good deal. Thank you.
All right, so that's pretty much everything as far as like updates to existing games. But we do have a few games that are coming out this week that we'll also go ahead and touch on here.
Yes. So let's start off with an indie that I think is just very, what's the word that I want to use? It's very charming game. It is a supernatural slice of life adventure game set in the late 90s Indonesia by Mojiken. The game is called A Space for the Unbound. It had like a very turbulent publishing dilemma that happened with the previous publisher, but now that they have a new publisher, everything's just going smoothly. The game is expected to come out next week on the 19th on Steam, and a demo is available, so you can again check that out and see if that's something that you would like to play and buy the full copy of.
And that one had such a cool looking like trailer. Definitely check out the trailer if you haven't already. It looks so cozy and cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to trying that out myself, because I want to learn about like what is the 90s rural Indonesia like, I want to know more about it. Like it's part of the world that I know nothing about, right? So I'm kind of hoping that I can learn a little bit something through this supernatural slice of life adventure. That's like how they worded it. Now, in addition to that, I didn't find a whole lot of news. I was just looking at Steam and I just happened to find this. There's a free prologue chapter that they're adding that's going to be available on the 22nd. So that's next Sunday. So just extra content that they're just kind of throwing out there. So pretty cool stuff. So you can check that out on Steam. That's what we've got.
All right, so moving along. Persona fans, rejoice, because now you can finally double, triple, and quadruple dip on Persona 3 and Persona 4 with the new ports coming out next week.
This is specifically ripping on Mr. Invalid, by the way.
Because they're available on so many different platforms.
Oh yeah, no, he's like notorious for double dipping. I think he would acknowledge it himself. But also a couple of people come into my stream who are like, "Oh my god, I can't wait to buy this game again." Like, how many times have you bought this game already? It's like, this is gonna be my 5th time buying the game. Like, how?
I know.
Just keep buying this game so many times.
Take our money. Let's check out this trailer here for the this is a special Morgana trailer here. Oh, that's hang on, that's not that is definitely not what I meant to do. Here, let me see if I can fix that. This is the most professional podcast in all of YouTube, and
nothing ever messes up in this podcast.
Certainly not.
Never. Yeah. Nothing ever goes wrong. Everything is just perfect.
Yeah. So Baku, take the wheel while I
while I talk to the chat. Let me read some chat real quick. I want Reverie. Me too. Next. But I really want Kuro. Me too. Next. I'll have to check out the demo for Space Unbound. Sounds really interesting. It absolutely does. Speaking of Reverie, we're actually going to talk a little bit about that later, because Baku kind of forgot about it. And That was my fault.
How dare you forget about that?
I wanted to talk about it last show, and now like I forgot that this is a thing. As I was like writing the show, Anyways, that was my miss. The news came out like 3 weeks ago, but we'll talk about it.
Okay, so let's try this now. I think there we go. Now it works.
There we go.
Hey everyone, Mona here.
Mona?
Doing some sleuthing around and got word
Morgana?
that there are other Persona users out there.
I guess that's what he calls himself in English.
There was a case at Gekkokan High School.
Was that something new to Royal? I don't know. Or did I just forget about it?
I never played P5. I only played P3 and P4.
Maybe Mona is.
I guess it wouldn't even matter because I would be listening to the Japanese voice acting, so it would have been completely different. So I still wouldn't have known.
Even have a Persona-wielding dog? I'm also reading a case in a town called Inaba where a serial killer is on the loose. It seems as if
P4 was so good. I really enjoyed P4.
Taking it upon themselves.
Didn't like P3P, but really enjoyed P4.
They can access another world through their TVs.
Did I tell you one time I said I didn't like P3 and someone got mad at me on stream? I'm like, wow, this is deja vu. It's like that time I said I didn't like FF15 and someone got mad and left the chat. Because they just couldn't stand the fact that I couldn't like a game that they hold like so dear. And I was just like, well, you know, not all games are made for everybody. It's fine. Like,
yeah. I mean, some people, like some people do just be that way, and it's weird.
Coming January 19th, 2023.
Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes. But yeah, man, this game, P4. I would definitely recommend P4 though for anyone who has not played it. I can personally recommend it. P3 not so much, but P4, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, don't know why they're calling themselves Mona, but maybe it's a thing in P5.
It must be, I guess. It's so weird. Chat, do you know why Morgana is calling them Mona?
Sorry, I have not played P5, so I have no insight.
I don't remember this happening in P5, but like, what? Maybe it was new to Persona 5 Royal. I mean, it's short for Morgana.
Code name.
Oh, it's their code name?
Like Joker and...
Oh.
I'm guessing. I don't know. Again, I have not played it, so...
Maybe? Yeah, that's the code name.
Oh.
Why don't I remember this?
I don't know, Derek. Why don't you remember this?
Probably because it's been 5 years, if I had to guess, since Persona 5 actually came out. And I'm feeling so old.
And I still have not played the game.
That's okay. I mean, hey, you know, Persona 3, I think, was a bit rough around the edges, especially with Tartarus. Persona 4, you played that. That was a lot better. Persona 5, though, it's almost kind of it felt like a bit of a revolution above itself, like how Persona 3 was a revolution from Persona 2. Like, it changed a lot. So does Persona 5, and I think it changes things in such a way that you, in particular, will probably appreciate it more. So you should probably, you know, play that sometime at some point.
Can I tell you something funny though? Can I tell all of you guys something funny?
No.
I think you guys could laugh out of this. So remember how? So the whole thing about ripping people for buying double dipping and triple dipping. So I actually bought Persona 5 Royal day one, pre-ordered with because I just really liked their PS4 theme, and it is still one of my favorite like theme for the PS4. It only came with like the order of that edition, right? So I did that, right? But I never played it, and I loaned it out to a friend who took until 2 months ago to beat it. It's been years, and she's put it off. And I'm just like playing all these other games. I'm like, I gotta play P3 first. I gotta play P4 first. I just never bothered to ask her to get me the game back. So she finally finished it. I finally got the game back. Then Atlus announced that they're going to release it on PlayStation 5 native, and there's no upgrade path. We've talked about it. So guess what I did? I bought the PS5 edition. So I've now double dipped into P5 Royal, a game that I've never played before. And I still haven't played it.
Maybe, hey, Baku, maybe I should borrow that P5R from you for the PS5 so that... Okay. Man,
Oh, jeez.
that's pretty funny. But
Yeah.
we'll have more news to talk about for Atlus specifically here pretty soon. But before we
Yes.
get to that, let's go ahead and talk about our next topic here for a second there, Baku.
What's the next topic?
before I do that though.
Yes.
Oh yeah, hang on a second. I completely scrolled down and forgot
There
part
are
of this.
so much to talk about that
There's
you're
so
not
much more to
talking
talk about.
about.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay, so anyways, on the 19th, we're getting a release on PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, S, Switch, and PC, and digital only on PC, by the way.
Digital only for everything.
A bundle
Yes.
with both games will be available, so you can get all
That's correct.
Persona 3 and Persona 4. It's going to be awesome. Keep your eyes
Yes.
peeled for those.
Mhm.
Personally, I still feel like it would have been nice if they did P5 or Persona 3 FES instead of P3P, but you got to do what you got to do. And if they lost the source code, and it sounds like they did, this is fine. It's better than nothing.
I think the big issue is I don't know if they lost the source code, but I think it was down to basically A, do we release FES, or B, like with the extra ending and all that, or do we release P3P that
With the
lets you
second
choose
character.
a female protagonist? And when you play
'Cause
as the
there's-
female protagonist, a lot of things changes in the dialogues and all that stuff too. So it's like it's kind of a mess. Like if you want FES, you have to program all of that. They can't just take FES
Yeah.
and just like slap it on. They have to do all the female routes. So I think that's really the decision point for
Yeah,
them.
you might be
Yeah.
right. It might
Mhm.
just be too much for them to like combine into a single.
Yeah.
But I just
And for all the Persona fans out there, before you get mad at me, I'm not rooting for one or the other. I'm just saying that that's probably what happened, and they chose
You're probably
P3P
right.
instead. So don't get mad at me. I've never played FES, and I have no horse in this race. I don't even like P3.
Okay.
P4, on the other hand, fantastic game.
Now,
Anyways,
I thought that we were going to be talking about this during like the industry news section, which is why I was like, oh yeah, we'll talk about it in a little bit. But actually, we're going to talk about it now. And that is that
That's well.
Atlus have they published their streaming guidelines for on their Persona 5 or Persona blog rather.
yeah.
Now, long story short, they want you to use spoiler tags. You cannot focus on any
Oh,
paywall.
oops, sorry. I mistyped that. No. There you go. Oh, sorry. Nope.
Okay,
There
okay.
you go. Okay. Yep. Okay. There we go.
Okay.
I
Thank you.
fixed
Okay.
it. Yes.
So
Okay.
got to use a spoiler tag. You can't have any sort of paywalls. Like, oh, if you pay money to watch the stream, like you'd have to have.
No OnlyFans.
Oh, was that one of the things? Like no OnlyFans.
I mean, OnlyFans a paywall. Like you can't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like
No,
paywall,
no live
any kind
streams
of
on
subscription.
OnlyFans.
I'm just giving an example. Like
Okay,
you
I
have to
gotcha.
pay to have access. Like YouTube, you have access, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't need to pay some fee to access that
Yeah.
material. So that's what they mean by
Mhm.
paywall.
You
So no
cannot-
paywall.
You cannot publish any videos that solely focus on the background music. So basically, you can't just upload a beat like, oh, here's the song from Persona 3.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You have to contribute something to it.
Yeah.
No cheats or mods.
Mhm.
That's a little weird, but okay. And no offensive content toward any person. And you have to mark the copyright, copyright Atlus and Sega.
Yeah.
Notice anything missing from that usual list of copyright and content guidelines that they usually provide for streamers?
Mhm.
What's that? What are they missing?
No streaming past a certain date, and all that fun stuff.
No
So,
embargo.
No embargo. Yeah.
There's no one-sided embargo where they're gonna start copyright striking people for playing past a certain date or showing things past a certain point in the game.
That's right.
Holy
You
moly!
just need to put a spoiler tag,
Yeah,
which
just spoiler tags.
which is way better.
That is-
way better.
Can I
That's
just
that's
say
a small ask.
I
Yeah.
am so damn happy about this that I could say damn. I'm so happy about this. Now I wonder if this is partially, it has to at least partially be because of the fact that this was like PS2 games. Like that's what would make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, they still had like these sort of weird restrictions for Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne, which was also
yeah?
a PS2 game. Yeah, they had weird embargoes and restrictions on everything. in recent memory. So I feel like this must be some I don't know, maybe somebody had a come to Jesus moment with Atlus of Japan and said, you know what, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I think the PR team finally got in touch with their legal team.
I think so.
That's
Yeah.
what happened. Because I cannot imagine the PR team saying this is fine. The PR team's like, no, what are you doing? What are you doing? This is free advertisement. What are you doing? Get with the program.
Exactly.
And the legal team's like, well, I'm not getting paid top dollars to let this like slide. So we're gonna make it as draconian as possible because I'm protecting my job and all the legal assets of this IP, right? And the PR team's like, no, you don't understand. This is
how we advertise.
This is how we advertise our games. Yes.
So
this is free advertisement. What are you doing?
So the point is, I'd rather dwell on the positives here, which is, steps in the right direction. Thank you, Atlus, for finally listening, or finally, maybe you've been listening, but maybe your hands have been tied up to this point. But congratulations on getting through to whoever is in the decision-making side of the business and showing them the light. I hope that this will act as sort of a way to show that having people streaming your games is good business for you in the long run. And I'm really hoping that this is going to be awesome. Let's just good on you, Atlus.
Good.
This is a celebration of your doing good things. That is
Absolutely.
nice.
All right, the next game, the last game that we have to talk about that's coming out soon is none other than the newest entry to the Fire Emblem series, which is called Fire Emblem Engage. Let's take a look at that new trailer that they dropped. I think between the time we've talked about the game.
Now, just so y'all know, this is Fire Emblem Engage, and it's releasing exclusively for the Engage.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's a thing. That was a thing. oh my god. Wow. That was a freaking thing.
Fire Emblem for the Nokia Engage.
That was the thing. That was a thing. Engage.
Yep.
Capital N. Very radical.
Okay, now anybody who doesn't get the joke, no, this is absolutely not just coming to
Absolutely not.
it's coming to the other mobile phone platform, the Nintendo Switch.
That's right. I've been getting calls dropped on the Nintendo. Actually, no. Ironically enough, that's like the only thing that I couldn't do. it needed a special app. For like, I think that's been like the running joke for a long time. You need like a special app in order for you to communicate with other people who are playing with you.
Yeah,
that was so stupid.
Yeah,
man.
Nintendo doesn't understand the internet.
You really dropped the ball with that one. It's like, the whole thing is, especially with COVID. And then like, I mean, the system's still so like amazing, but
yeah,
they could have done so much better.
Just imagine how, God, if the Nintendo Switch did have like a solid like multiplayer communication mode, something that like rivaled the Xbox, if they had put in the R&D.
Yeah, I mean, they pushed out a lot of party games and multiplayer games.
Gosh,
like that could have been
nice.
like the go-to multiplayer game platform. Right?
I mean, Nintendo already sold every console that they've produced, basically. But imagine if they had. They would probably... God. How much more successful do you think they would be if they actually were competent in that arena?
A lot better. I'm hoping for their next console to, make some changes.
Let's hope.
Also, Engage looks really good.
It really does. The weird
really
hair,
good.
like with the vibrant blue and red, it reminds me of like
Pepsi?
Yes. That's exactly where I was going with that. Like,
Someone set that on in my stream and I couldn't like unsee it.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially with the white can that they're wearing.
Oh my god, yes. Like, dude, this dude's selling Pepsi.
This is the anime iteration of Pepsi Man.
Yeah, but I mean, everybody else looks amazing. I'm still not liking the main character, but everybody else looks amazing.
Yeah.
I really like what this game. Oh, hi. Oh, that's a evil incarnation of. Oh.
Am I
Did you see
being
that just now?
spoiled?
Slightly.
Okay.
Yeah, slightly. It's like the evil dude put the ring on, and then there's like an evil incarnation of a certain character. Okay. Oh, Marth. That was an evil Marth just now. Oh,
I think you mean Dark Marth. Nega Marth.
Yeah, that looked really good. Wow. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, that's the 20th, man. Wow.
I'm pretty excited for it. That's coming out on the 20th, and yeah, that's I still haven't played the three houses.
Me neither. I haven't played like the last like 3 games.
We are just surrounded by all kinds of incredible games. I'm excited.
I haven't played the last 3
I'm
games.
excited to live through this. I just wish that I could play them more.
But can I tell you something though? I have I have the last 3 games. I just haven't played them. I have them. They're back there in the shelf, physical copy. I just haven't played it.
Yeah. You know, maybe someday if I sell enough hoodies, if I peddle enough t-shirts, I could make reviews full time. And then I could play all of them, and that would be awesome. But
I'm waiting
that is
for
not
that day to happen. Waiting for that day to happen.
Shop.superrpgs.com.
Yes, do that. So to finish this coverage, let's talk a little about the expansion pass, because I did talk about this back in December, but I'm just going to recap it really quick.
Yeah.
There will be an expansion pass. There will be 4 waves, they say, of DLCs in this expansion pass. And wave 1 will include 3 houses characters. And it will be available on release day. So if you buy this expansion pass on the 20th, you'll get the Wave 1 DLC on day 1, basically. So if that's something that you're interested, you've heard it here.
Awesome. So we've got some announcements as it relates to some games that are coming out a little bit further away that we're going to talk about, starting with some news that kind of happened a couple of weeks ago, but we were away, and by the time that Baku came back from his incredible time at MagFest, we were kind of focusing on rounding out a lot of the stuff that happened there. So we're gonna kind of catch up on a little bit of some stuff that already happened, which wasn't very much. So
thank you. I appreciate you. But no, the truths are out the bag. I just forgot.
I'm sure. Okay. But also, there just wasn't really much that happened during that week. So we just kind of, for a few weeks, nothing happened. We just kind of wrote it off. But this actually happened. So we're going to come back around and right the wrongs.
The wrongs. Yes.
NISA, Nippon Ichi Software of America, have announced that the Trails into Reverie Western release date, they've announced it a couple of weeks ago. And it's not exactly news, but let's talk about it. We have a story trailer that we could take a look at if we wanted to.
Yes.
And keep in mind that the release date is going to be on the 7th of July in 2023. So 7/7. It's coming to PS4, Switch, and PC. Let's go ahead and take a look at this storyline trailer. And if you are avoiding spoilers, and I mean trailers for spoiler reasons, I understand.
Yes.
Feel free to avert your eyes. It's going to be a couple minutes.
Well, so aggressively talking over the trailer for people who just wants to see a thing and not necessarily. Which, by the way, if you want to see the trailer, guys, we're going to leave the link in the description. You can go and look at the trailer as many times as you like later on.
You know what? I'm actually going to just turn down the trailer a little bit so that people can't hear it as much. If you want to hear all of the stuff, feel free to watch the trailer. There will be links in the description down below.
Yes, especially for our podcast listener, they don't even see this. They have no visuals, so they're really just hearing us talk about this.
No, so for anybody who doesn't know, Trails into Reverie is going to be a game that kind of ties in a couple of games series in Falcom. It's kind of a follow up to the Crossbell arc. So that's Trails from Zero, Trails to Azure. It gets a follow-up in Trails into Reverie. as well as Trails of Cold Steel.
Mhm.
You know, all of the, you know, members of Class 7, I guess, are going to be kind of coming back and reprising some of their roles. And it's going to be one of those kinds of games that apparently kind of shifts gears. Like it'll like shift focus between the two groups of people. And that's kind of got me really interested, especially because I'm a huge fan of the Crossbell series already.
Mhm.
And apparently there's going to also be a third protagonist, a mysterious third protagonist known only as C, which is going to be kind of cool, I hope. But yeah, so anyways, this game is called, in Japan, it's called Hajimari no Kiseki. I didn't realize that, and the reason I feel like mentioning that is I didn't realize that the Trails into Reverie was, because I've heard of Hajimari for the longest time, but then I just started hearing about Reverie all of a sudden. It's coming out in the West. I'm like, oh, cool. I've never heard of Reverie before. It's like, yeah, yes, I have. It's Hajimari, but I just assumed that it would be called something like Trails of Beginnings or something. But
Trails. You know, the name that I really like was Trails from the Origin.
oh yeah, that would have been good too.
Or Trails of the Origin, which made sense with the Japanese name, but whatever. I actually like that more, but some people like Reverie more. I don't really have a horse in this. It's just my personal opinion. But yeah, I also am not happy that Estelle doesn't have a larger role in these later games. But you know, that's also.
I'm sure that she will
slight
at some
bias.
point. You never know. I mean, you have a slight bias because you played Sky, and a lot of
Yes.
people haven't. So,
Yeah.
but
Slight bias.
I mean,
Someone came and told me this. Okay, like I want your opinion on it, and I kind of want to hear what chat thinks about this. Okay, so I've complained on stream. Okay, openly.
Yeah.
My channel. Okay,
Sure,
that
sure.
I just wish that Falcom would, you know, try to do a little bit more of Estelle because she's so cool, right?
she is really cool.
Best Estelle is best Estelle for a reason. I mean, if you're gonna rehash all these characters, anyways, right? So, and in these games, she's now in her like early 20s, right? About early 20s, right? And so someone said to me that
She's basically got one foot in the grave as far as Japan is concerned.
she's middle aged. No one
Yep.
wants a middle aged woman. Ugh. Anyways, no. Oh wow, that clip is gonna get taken out of context. Okay, so I was saying, hey, I wish that they would do more with her character. You know, what's happening with Estelle and Joshua? Like, I want to see more of their stories. And then someone said, yeah, no, Estelle's like story is kind of over, right? You know, like she had her arc. And
I
I'm
don't know
just
if that's
like,
true. I mean, she did. She had an arc.
she had
sure.
an arc, right? But I'm like, okay, she is in her
Liberal
early
still
20s.
exists.
Yes, no, she's in her early 20s. Like,
Yeah.
if your life is over at your early 20s, like, can you imagine? Like, no, how many of us, like, our life really feel like it started once we hit our 20s?
Oh,
Like,
oh,
just
absolutely.
like, no, and when they were talking about arc, they're talking about like the character arc.
Yeah.
I'm just like, no, she could still learn, you know, to be a better, different person in her 20s. Like, your life is not over, right?
I
I
agree.
get it. Yeah, she had an amazing teenage years into like early adulthood. There are still more stories that can be talked about with Estelle, right?
Now, it'd be really tough to top whatever they've done so far, and we're not going
Right.
to get into spoilers of what all happened, but
Yeah.
you know, there's so many stories that could be told.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure. And like I said, Liberal still exists. You know, what's
Yeah.
going on during Cold Steel in Liberal? Who knows? It's hard to say. You know, well, I mean, I guess we kind of know a little bit about. You haven't played Azure and Zero yet, have you, Baku?
I have not, but I will.
Let me just tell you that her story does continue on a little bit.
Yes, but not as a focal point. If that.
I mean,
makes sense.
there's
not
yeah. I mean,
you know,
not a
in the
focal point.
capacity of a lead character.
Sure.
Let's just say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of hoping for. It's like all eyes on her.
So there
again,
is
like-
more going on. But anyways, yeah, no spoilers. But hopefully there will be continued to be stories told about Joshua and Estelle because yeah.
I think there's a lot of stories that they could only tell with Estelle being a important female lead, if that makes sense. Like in that age, there's this like you can't tell the same story with Reen. You can't tell the same story with like Lloyd. Like they can have their own stories, right? But there are certain unique things that you can talk about, like for women in that age living in this world, like that I feel like they could have gone into to do more things with. But that's just my humble opinion. But in any case, the game looks fantastic regardless. So
Yeah.
I'm actually super stoked to see that game finally coming out to the West.
Yes. Now, again, it's coming out on the 7th on PS4, PS5, and Nintendo Switch. Keep your eyes peeled and maybe consider pre-ordering it because I think I'm going to do that too.
Yeah, I'd pre-order, but the Azure kind of like messed me up. I was the Azure. It was what's the other
the
one?
third.
Zero kind of messed me up. Yeah,
Did,
I pre-ordered
did you play
it.
Zero?
I did. I pre-ordered Zero, and then I pre-ordered for PS4, and then I found out that it was not like the good edition. So then I
yeah.
returned it, and then now I am without Zero, but that's okay. I'll just buy it again, probably at a discount when I'm ready to actually play it. So
Yeah.
it's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Well, how about you take this next part and you can continue talking about how awesome good guy Falcom is.
Falcom is. Speaking of pre-ordering, this is a game that I actually pre-ordered. NISA announced the release date for the native PS5 version of East 9, Monstrum Nox, and that is going to be 3 separate dates, okay, for each of y'all out in the West, okay? So it's going to be May 9th for folks in North America, May 12th for folks living in Europe, and May 19th for Australia and New Zealand. Get that? 9th, 12th, 19th. 3 separate dates for the PS5 release.
That's why so complicated.
Ask NISA. NISA's just
Okay.
I don't know. At least the
Well, ask
the
Falcom
release
because I think
date.
NISA only does stuff in North America or the West. No, I don't know.
Yeah,
Do they-
I think this
do
is
they
the
do-
West.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they're doing this for North America, Europe, and Australia, New Zealand. So they
Oh, okay.
I
Never
don't
mind
know.
then.
Yeah, but I mean, at least there's one single date for North America and Europe for Trails into Reverie, which is July 7th. Right. So
Okay.
there's at least that. So I don't know what happened, but it's what it is. I'm just letting you know, right? So
All right.
we do have a character trailer, and this shouldn't be too big of a spoiler. I mean, the game has already been out for some time now, but we do have a character trailer that they've released for this PS5 release, so we can take a look at it just so folks know what we're talking about.
All right. Let's take a gander.
Yes, East 9 looks beautiful. By the way, I'm like 2 games behind
Me
to get to East 9.
I have not been playing in order. I started with 8 and I just
You
haven't
started
played
8?
9. Yeah.
Yeah,
I should.
I played all of them except for Celceta, the 8th game, and this, and I have them all. I just need time to play it.
Oh man. How about you focus on East and I'll focus on Trails and then we can both be a complete Falcom fanboy together.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to do that, but then we get shamed individually when we stream. So
That is true.
How can you say like Falcom games if you don't play Trails, man?
I kind of
so
wonder
many
how you will
games.
enjoy East 8 style of combat and East 9, I guess, because they look pretty similar in some ways. They are definitely a departure from. I mean, but if you've been playing through all of East, you know that the combat has had a few departures over
yeah.
its lifespan.
I'm definitely okay with like an evolution of like gameplay. You know, like I know some people are like really adamant about like how a game plays, and if it changes significantly, then it's just no longer the game series. But yeah, no, I've gone through. I've played games since like the 90s. A lot of things has changed. I couldn't
yeah.
possibly be that person who says, well, if it changes, then I can't like a thing. Then I wouldn't like anything that
That's
I
true.
played. Yeah, no, everything changes over time. You either get with the program or you don't, which is fine.
So
But-
far, I think it says volumes. It speaks volumes to say that the only game that has really not changed. There's 2 that have not really changed in all of their years. The first is Dragon Quest,
Oh yeah,
which
DQ
is
still
which
DQ.
is renowned for its sticking to tradition and maintaining. And then there's Pokemon, which
Oh yeah.
also
Well-
refuses to really advance itself, with things like,
Well,
I mean, there are differences.
Yeah,
Okay.
Arceus, but
Arceus
Arceus
has
is kind of
spun
a spin-off. Yeah,
Yeah, but and so is Dragon Quest Treasures. But like
Mhm, that's
mainline,
fair.
these are the two that like really have stuck to like, this is what we do, and deal with it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I guess.
And how's that working out for Pokemon these days? Like, sure, they're selling millions of copies, so it must be working pretty dang well, actually. But some of the fans aren't. It is weighing on fans quite heavily that Pokemon refuses to implement a lot of quality of life improvements that would make the game so much better,
Well,
according
they
to some
did-
people. But who
They
knows?
did make one change in the most recent Scarlet Violet game that I thought was just a no-brainer, and that is letting you select moves on the fly. And I can't say this with absolute certainty because I haven't played a game. This is secondhand knowledge. But so in Arceus, when a Pokemon learns a move, it's in the move pool.
Yeah.
Right, and you can like go in and like change moves. You can only still carry 4 moves with you in battle, which is default. But it's not like, oh, you forgot a move and now you have to go to like a move tutor and like relearn a thing,
Yeah.
which is stupid. It's like, no, this Pokemon knows all these attacks. It just happens that it can only carry 4 into battle, which is fine. But you can't tell me that it doesn't know more than 4 things. Like, here's the legendary Pokemon. This is a Pokemon god, and it only knows 4 moves. Because it's forgotten everything else. Like, what? Excuse me?
At
Like-
first, when you said that, I got really excited. But then because of the context, it sunk in. Gradually, I was like, yeah, you're right. This is some really low-hanging fruit. Why am I so excited about this? It's like,
no, but
this
it
should have
makes
been
sense.
this should have been
right?
implemented in Game Boy Advance. Like,
But
but okay.
No,
fine.
it's just so much easier for, I mean, just keeping track of like illegal Pokemon too, because like different Pokemon from different generation knows different movesets, but now you can just standardize. Like this
Yeah.
Pokemon knows this set of moves at these levels. It won't know anything else. You can track if it's a legal Pokemon very easily. It just makes sense. And for a player, like I can just kind of swap moves, especially for like if you're a competitive player. You want to strategize, you want to change your moves up in your Pokemon, like you can just do that. You don't have to like do all these things and run all these like hurdles to like try to get the right moves on the right nature, the right IV and EV. None of that, no more, right? So I think that's like a huge thing that they had changed. So yeah, they've done some things, but they could definitely do more.
That's interesting. Anyways, so getting back to East 9, because I just realized we completely went off topic there. This version of the game will support native 4K on the PS4.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
will also come with some of the cosmetic DLCs from previous versions of the game, which is
That's
pretty standard Falcom fare when it comes to a lot of remasters and remakes. So good guy Falcom.
Yeah, do credit where credit's due. Which, by the way, before anyone says anything, yes, the East 9 has a patch that allows it to play in 4K, but this is different. This is like native 4K for PS5. So there might be some improvement compared to playing the PS4 version that allows 4K. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there could be, there might not be, or maybe the improvement is so minimal that like no one ever noticed. But just know that there's like a difference between like a patch 4K and this kind of like native 4K that's made for PS5.
All right. So moving along, we've got some industry news that we're going to talk about, and for some reason I've continued to make Baku talk about some of these things. Maybe I should take this one. I don't know.
No, I'll take this one because I feel like there's some
I think you got some
editorial
stuff to say.
opinion on this
Yeah.
one. Yeah. So let's talk about Tales of Remix and remasters coming. So with the Tales of Symphonia remaster coming out next month, actually on the 17th of next month, Bandai Namco posted a new like Q&A in their official Japanese page for the Tales of Symphonia remaster. And this one particular Q&A has got like all these like game, media, like game websites, all these articles coming out with titles like Bandai Namco is open to more Tales remasters, and Bandai Namco hints at more Tales series remasters. Ooh, like it's they framed it almost like they have said something official, like, oh, yep, we're totally going to make more remasters. Just give us more ideas, guys. But just in the long short, right? It was one Q&A, like, so there are multiple questions with answers. It was just this one very small like Q&A that basically asked about regarding like future tales of remaster and remake. And so the long short answer is, hey, thank you fans for your passion, thank you for wanting to play these older Tales of games on newer platform. We're currently focusing on Symphonia, but we'll be listening to fans' opinions for like future remake remaster endeavors. That's it.
Yeah, just a throwaway statement, like a
that's it. Yeah, and
like a footnote.
Yeah, and in the context of like Japanese like mannerism and just like reading the statement, it is like extremely generic statement that basically says, yeah, sure, we're always listening to your opinions, so thank you. It's nothing. It's a nothing burger. But also, I mean, who is thinking that they wouldn't make more remaster remake anyway? It's like free money.
I know.
It's like, duh. Like, of course they're gonna do it, and of course they're gonna listen to fans, like, to see what's gonna hit. So again, all of this is just nothing. Like, well, yeah, no, duh. Like, of course they're gonna do that. So just hype responsibly. It's not like they're actively trying to gauge your feedback. Like, please send us like love letters and then we'll like follow through. No, none of that.
Yeah, this isn't quite the same as like the times now that
surveys.
Oh God, there was a couple of times when they were talking about if we wanted Star Ocean R, the first Star Ocean, the remake, right? The Star Ocean 1 First Departure R. Yeah. They were talking about, if we want that, we have to be vocal about it. That's like the second or third time that we've heard that from the studio, behind it. It's like, that would be really nice. But so they are actively like, yes, be vocal, push, because our executives aren't listening to us anymore. This is basically
that was a specific call for action. Yeah. This is not. This is just them being polite. It is a throwaway comment, like Derek said. So I think bottom line is just, hype responsibly.
Baku, do you remember? You probably don't have this at the ready anymore, but do you remember that guy who invested in a company, like something like $14,000 worth of money to attend an investors meeting?
Oh yeah.
To attend an investors meeting, and he asked them, what was that? He asked them if they were going to remake something.
Isn't it the one with Captain Falcon?
Yes.
It was a Nintendo shareholder meeting.
Yep, F-Zero. It was asking if they make a new F-Zero, and they gave some, very brief, very. We're always very excited to hear about whatever, what our fans want to, this is exactly it's like that same cut and paste statement, just applied to somewhere else by a different company. Yeah. And it's like making headlines because it's a slow news day.
It is crazy. Yeah. I'm just like, this is how you know when the news cycle is really slow. I was telling Derek, like, the news cycle is really slow. And this is how you know. Like, this is a nothing statement. So thank you, fans. We're working on this thing. We're always listening to your opinions. So, awesome. That's all I really say.
Please look forward to future developments that we have.
Yes, please look forward to future developments. Jeez. Yeah. So there you go. That's really just the news is to tell you that there's no news. You're welcome.
Yeah.
There's no news.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
But we do have some cool news from Falcom. I mean, we're kind of done talking about
Falcom.
Yeah, that's the end of our industry news, but guys, we got some merch news to talk about here.
Yes.
And I took one of them, but I took a very specific one. So
Yeah.
Again,
well,
Baku's gone on the lead for this one.
Well, I'm the figure collector, so I'll sign up for this one. So do you want to head on over to my browser tab real quick?
Yeah, let's see how well this works here. If I go to Baku's screen.
There you go.
Oh,
there
my
you go.
goodness.
Ooh, yes. So this is what y'all saw from the thumbnail, of course. So let's talk about this. If
Yes.
you are a Trails fans, and a lot of you guys are, and it actually scares me a little bit how many Trails fans are here, you should be familiar with the company called Kotobukiya by now, okay? And if you have never heard of Kotobukiya, they're a huge conglomerate. Like they own so many things. The one thing that they are doing is releasing figures for Falcom. So far they have already released and or taking pre-orders for Altina from Cold Steel. They've done Reen. They've done Licia, and also for Crow. I think Crow. And now the fifth character, which they have announced back in July on the prototype, is Ren.
Oh, we did see this prototype, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
The last time we saw this, I believe it was unpainted. So this is
Yes. Completely
what it's
grayscale.
going to look like now, and it looks incredible. This is now available for pre-order. So if anybody's interested in pre-ordering this, and you haven't already, it is available on AmiAmi. I will leave the link in the description as per usual. This is a 1/8 scale figure, and they are planning to release this actually in this year, which is surprising.
That's awesome.
Middle of this year. They usually take like a whole year to release these things. So I guess now that COVID is kind of, I want to say it's fading away, but it's the situation is improving at least. The production schedule is starting to move back to more regular
It's
time,
starting
which
to
is
move that way. Yeah.
yes. I'm a little reluctant to say like things
Logistics are
that
solved,
aren't
everybody.
true. Yeah. No, the problem persists.
Yeah.
It's just that we are as a group of people
The knot is
move-
gradually getting untied slowly.
yeah moving back to how things may have been, right?
Maybe.
So maybe so another piece of good news, that this figure is actually running about 15,700 yen, which is roughly $123 US dollars. And for anyone who has been in the figure collecting hobby, you would know that $100-ish for a figure is basically pre-inflation price.
Yeah, it's because the dollar is really strong compared to the yen right now, isn't it?
There's that.
Because it used to be, it used to be about a 10-to-1 ratio here. So it used to be like 15,700 would be like about 160 US dollars. But because of the exchange rates, we are doing pretty okay. So
Well,
that's not too bad.
I'd say that, but like recently, a lot of figures has gone into like the $250, and that became like the new norm. So $123 for a figure that you really want, if you're a fan, and I certainly am a fan of Ren, it's a good deal. It's a really good deal. Yeah. So definitely check that out. We'll post the link in the description below after the show where you can pre-order yours. And I'll also leave the product page in the description if you want to take a look.
All right. So moving along, we have something else here from Falcom here. Trails of Cold Steel, the Azure Knight, the model kit here is announced. It's the what is it called? They're releasing a new is it a Modroid?
I believe it's pronounced Modroid. I have no idea. Let's just say it's Modroid.
I'll call it Modroid.
Sure.
Because I feel like the long O makes sense in Japanese.
A Modroid, yes.
So it's a Modroid model kit by Good Smile Company for Ordine, the Azure Knight from Trails of Cold Steel. No release time or pricing is currently available. For anyone who is interested in the Valimar Modroid model kit, it's also available for pre-order at Good Smile for $47.99, not including shipping. and I think I'm gonna get that Valimar one. Do you want to?
Oh, yeah?
Do you have a something you wanted to show for this?
Well, hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me just type this in.
Because I
Probably
just got
find
to
it.
the point in Cold Steel not too long ago where I was introduced to Valimar, and
Yeah, you can take a look at my page.
okay, here, and man,
Yeah. So,
I've been
yeah.
I've been watching another YouTuber lately, quite a bit. His name is Studson Studios,
Mhm.
and he makes some pretty cool stuff out of garbage, and also Gunpla. So I'm like,
Emperor? Mhm.
yep. So I'm like, man, I really want to get into maybe
You
some.
want to build something?
I kind of want to build something, and
Oh, dude, this would be a good play. Dude, this would be a good thing for you to build. I mean,
That's
you were
what I'm
playing Cold
thinking.
Steel.
like,
Yeah.
I was thinking, I don't know if anybody would watch me like build one for the first time on stream or something, but
I think people like watching. I mean, there's like dedicated
like
channels
watching-
to build Lego.
they
I
like
mean,
watching like people who are good at it though. Like,
not
do
necessarily.
they want to watch a beginner make
No,
a
not necessarily.
Valimar Gunpla? I don't know.
Have you ever seen people play horror games that are like really bad at horror game?
Isn't that like the best kind?
Well, I mean, you're really bad at doing this because this is your first one.
That's true. Maybe it's one of those people. I can just do such a crap job of like hobbling everything together to like inspire other people. Like, I could do a better job than that. Let me try.
No, I genuinely think that. I mean, it's not going to be your main content, but you do it once in a while. Like, I think people will watch it. I've watched it. Yeah, I just come to hang out. It'd be like pretty chill. Like you're just doing your thing, just chatting. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
That'd be
it
pretty
looks
fun.
really cool, by the way. Like if I'm into model building, I would 100% get this, but I don't really build models anymore. I used to,
Mhm.
but not anymore. Yeah, I just don't have time for it.
But yeah, check
yeah.
out Studson Studios if you guys want to watch something really oddly satisfying about somebody making some cool stuff, like straight out of like some Studio Ghibli movies, for instance, like Howl's Moving Castle,
Oh.
out of mostly nothing but garbage. It is incredible. Oh, it is so
Yeah.
satisfying. But anyways, that's the whole Cold Steel Azure Knight model kits thing that I wanted to talk about. Back to you, Baku.
Yes. All right. So here's the last piece of merch news. There was one other piece before that I was going to talk about, but it turns out it's all sold out because we were too late on it. But yeah, so I won't tell you what that was. But this is something that you can actually get, maybe, if you want. So let's look at my screen really quick and we can talk about what we're displaying here. So as you can see, there's some Street Fighter things here. So this is actually from something called the Street Fighter The World of Guys Stronger Than Me exhibition, which is like right here. That's
Okay.
what it says. Yeah. And there were actually these two statues, not even figures, statues that were on display. The organizers thought about dismantling it and getting rid of it, but they saw how fans really like taking pictures with it and stuff. They're like, you know what? Maybe we'll auction it. So we've got ourselves a life-size Chun-Li statue, which
Oof.
looks like this. It's
Holy cow.
life-size.
Can I see
yes.
that? I want to see someone standing next to that
Oh, you know what?
for scale. They probably don't have one.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's no picture of that. But yeah, I mean, it's sizable. It's a sizable statue.
Of course.
And
but-
also life-size Bison statue.
That's not him, Bison. That's oh
Vega.
God. No.
No,
it,
not
it
Vega.
actually is M Bison, but I was trying to think
It's
of the
Bison.
I was trying to remember the guy's original name before they changed it all around.
What was his original name?
Because
Yeah, it
there
is
was gonna be-
Vega. Yes, it's Vega.
Oh, it's Vega in Japanese.
Japanese. Yeah.
Okay, because I
Yeah, it's
remember they
Vega.
did some like switching around of like, but in the English speaking states, they named him M Bison to avoid
Mhm.
calling one of the other characters M Bison because it was too much like Mike Tyson. Because it was
Yes.
a boxer and
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
and
But
so
okay.
now they have different
Yeah.
names in Japan. And but yeah, that's That's our Bison.
Yeah, this is our M Bison. But knock the boxer guy. So if you're interested, and look, listen, if you're like a Street Fighter super fan and you're just like, this is my time to shine, I really want that M Bison in my living room. The bid will start at 2 million. Or 200,000, not 2 million, 200,000 yen, which
Hey,
is
that's
about
That's
$1,500, which is still less than that Terra
I
statue.
was gonna say the
It's
$40,000
still-
Terra statue.
Was it like? It was
It was
like
like
something ridiculous.
40,000
Like,
US dollars, wasn't it?
no.
40,000.
It was $12,000, not including shipping. I think it was 12K
Hmm.
because I actually considered it.
Oh, okay. And 40,000 would have been a little beyond.
Yeah,
your
40,000 would have been a no for me, but I mean 12,000 is a no for me. But I really thought about it. But hey, this is just a cool $1,500. I'm sure everybody can afford it. But here's the difference.
That's sarcasm. That's
Yeah,
sarcasm.
this is absolutely sarcasm, by the way. Yeah, no, but $1,500 is the starting bid. So this is a silent auction. So you basically have to go with your best what's it called? Your best
your best
bid.
offer.
Yeah, your
foot
best
forward.
offer.
Uh-huh.
And go for it. So if you're just like the super fan, don't say I didn't tell you that this is a thing. But you know, this being a RPG and anime and all kinds of weird stuff show, this is the weird thing you can get now, actually, part of the show. I hope you guys
Yes.
enjoy this fine, because I had a good laugh with this one. Oh, it tells you how tall they are.
Oh, does it?
Let's see, height 1,820 millimeter. So that's like 1.8 meter.
Yeah.
That's pretty tall.
That is pretty tall.
I'm
Huh.
sorry. Anyone who does not live in like America land, what is 1,820 millimeter? We have European viewers. They can tell us immediately.
It's like 6 foot.
Oh, it's like 6 foot. Well, there you go. It's pretty
Yeah.
tall. Oh, let's look at the Chun-Li statue. Let's see what how tall she is. 1.7 meter. Quite tall.
Oh yeah, 1.7
like, what, 5
meters would be about
10?
5'5".
5'5". Oh, okay. Wow, that
Mhm.
dropped a lot. There
Yeah.
you go, man. Wow. There you go.
Oh,
Quite tall.
so before we wrap up this section talking about merch, I would like to just kind of drop another reminder for anybody who joined after I dropped that commercial talking about the new SuperDerek hoodie. Just to clarify, it is available for pre-order right now for anybody who would like it. It is going to
Yeah.
it is not going to be up for sale. Basically, they're all going to be made print to order. So it's not really more like a pre-order. It's more like, go ahead and just order it, and then we're going to make as many as we need, and then we're going to send them out, and then it's gone. Plus, it comes with 5
Yes.
scratch and sniff stickers. There's images of those on the site if you want to see what those are, and there's also a t-shirt available. If the hoodie is not something that you can get right now, the t-shirt will also be available there. And it's all screen printed. It is not direct to garment. Which is really, really nice. If you know the difference, you'll know that that's a really good deal. I've seen hoodies. The other day I saw a Trails of Cold Steel. No, Trails of Azure. It was an SSS hoodie. They were selling it for like $90, and it was also direct to garment. So it's like, man, that is a lot more than I'm selling my hoodies for, and our hoodies are a lot higher quality. Okay, so anyways, if you're interested, please be sure to check it out. Yeah, I hope you enjoy what you see. Now,
Nice.
let's go ahead and move on to our final section of the day, kind of responding to some super chats and talking about some cool discussion topics that they brought up. This one actually came in pretty early into the day's show, and that is from I Am Awakeify. Awakeify? I Am Awakeify, I think.
Okay.
And it's
Okay.
and so they said, thoughts on NISA sending a DMCA to a fan translation for Kuro no Kiseki. Do you think do you think 4chan or another group will fan translate Kuro 2 out of spite? I don't know. So here's my thoughts on NISA sending the DMCA. You know, we actually did get a official statement from NISA when I asked them for one back when this news kind of broke. Let me see if I still have that readily accessible. And because I would be happy to read that back again. But essentially, I'm not at all surprised. And the reason that I wasn't very surprised is because there's already been like an announced intention by NISA to bring these games to the West from here on in forward. Like Geofront, for instance, they weren't impeded in any way because nobody had the localization rights until until NISA eventually got those rights. And when they did, the Geofront translations were already done. And as like a way of extending an olive branch, they're actually like working in tandem in bringing the games officially. So I think that it's very different groups of what we're seeing are very different games that were being localized. Like there's like, this was from almost 10 years ago. You know, nobody was really looking like they were going to do anything with these games. And they were doing everybody a service and bringing them over, right?
Yeah.
Now, as opposed to Kuro, which is like a brand new game, people want to play it early. I can totally sympathize with that. But also by doing so, do you think somebody... Let me not phrase this as a question, because I'm going to get answers that are not in good faith. People who play this game for free using other methods, or maybe not even for free, but buying the Japanese version, are far less likely to support an official release. And I think that it would be it is both within their responsibility to protect the intellectual properties of Falcom, as well as to protect their own vested interest and making sure that they can sell copies to people by not having to compete against somebody who's basically doing their job but for free. You know, that's kind of it sucks that they got so far and that they had so much effort kind of had to be wasted by the fact. But at the end of the day, I mean, they were in their rights and obligations to shut that down, unfortunately. And I'm sympathetic, definitely. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on that. But did you have anything you wanted to say on the subject there?
Anything that you haven't already said, maybe not, because I think that was pretty comprehensive.
They did
I
say
would-
something about other people maybe doing a localization out of spite, like 4chan. Did you have any thoughts on that?
I mean, nothing stops 4chan from doing anything. So it's 4chan. That's why I'm just like, yes, 4chan. I mean, they
the
can
hacker
do
known as
whatever.
4chan.
Yeah, they can do whatever they want, and people will continue to do whatever they want. It's just the way that I look at it is this, right? If you are going to translate a game like Kuro, for example, it's a lot of like manpower involved. If you are just a scattered couple of people, it's basically guerrilla warfare, right? But if you get any sizable group, which is probably required to do this kind of endeavor, you are going to get shut down relatively easily. So you can't really have it both ways. It's either you're very nimble with like a couple of people, or you get a group together to do a huge project. Like, I don't think there's like any way around that. So I don't know. Like, if you get like maybe one or two people who are just super dedicated and talented and they can pull it through, maybe they can create through the cracks. But at that point, and because they are going to be relatively slow because they don't have a whole lot of people, you got to ask yourself, like, are you going to support this fan translate endeavor, or are you going to support an official release where the profit would go to the rights owner, the people who actually worked on the scripts and wrote the game and did all these things? Like,
So, I think that a lot of people were going to be using, they were going to be purchasing, a lot of people, maybe not everybody, but a lot of people were going to purchase the Japanese version. So that money would go straight to Falcom. But what this would be doing is circumventing the whole thing where like people can actually professionally do this as a job and pay staff living wages and, you know, and actually support the localization industry that so many people rely upon. And and kind of circumnavigating that hurts a lot of other people, you know.
Well,
So
I think
that's kind of my main issue with that at this point.
Well, I think that, and just the fact that there is a company that has the rights to this, like
Yeah,
this is
I mean, there's
their
also the legal aspect,
thing.
but
Right. So
nobody really cares. I mean, nobody really cares about the legal argument, though. I mean, people care about maybe the personal element, and that's why I kind of wanted to lean in that direction. But
I guess.
but also here, I found my
The
statement.
official statement. Okay.
Yeah, the official statement that we got. So this came from NISA on the 5th of September last year. They said,
Mhm.
on August 31st, we contacted Zero Field to request that they cease work and distribution of the fan translation that infringe upon the intellectual properties of Nihon Falcom, in which NIS America has legal interest and representation in North America and Europe. That's a key part. They had legal representation and interest in it in those regions, which
Mhm.
they did not have for Geofront at the time. They went on to say that NIS America appreciates the passion and energy that they have for the series and understands that these requests are disappointing and disheartening and frustrating to the community, but we need to protect both Falcom's and our own business interests, right?
Mm.
And then they finished with this statement as well, that they encourage Zero Field to apply for any positions and openings and working together in a official capacity. And I hope that they take them up on that offer, or that opportunity to do that, because that worked really well for Geofront. You know, clearly they have a passion, they have talent, and it would be pretty cool if they could do this as a job and get paid to do it, you know, and then work within the system to make everybody's lives better, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's kind of my whole thoughts on it. And as for whether or not somebody's going to do something out of spite, maybe. I would hope that people would instead try to work together, and come to some amicable solutions. But I don't know. That's just my hot take.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that they were in the wrong to do this, and I don't know. I don't know.
I think the big thing that that you've said that really resonated with my thinking is with the Azure and Zero. Again, it's an old game, and it didn't look like they're gonna do anything with it. It's a completely different scenario. This is like, oh yeah, we've already contracted them. We're doing this. It takes time.
Yeah.
But it's coming, and you know it's coming. If
It's
you're
no
even
secret,
remotely
yeah.
paying attention to the news, you
And
know that
anybody
it's
doing
coming.
this, and anybody doing this absolutely knows.
Yeah, anyone who's doing this absolutely knows that the translations are coming. It's not a maybe if. No, it's absolutely coming. So, and I don't know. It's not the same. It's not the same scenario, I think.
So we also had another super chat here that came from Debris44, who says, just casting a defense buff on my favorite JRPG show. Please don't get one shot by the final boss. What is your most anticipated game of 2023?
I feel like someone asked that last show.
They might have, but I'll answer it this time. Right now,
Okay.
it's got to be at the moment, because I can't think of anything else. Trails into Reverie is my most anticipated, and only because Trails to Azure was so killer. But I've already played it, and I'm probably not gonna replay all of it. I'm definitely gonna check it out when it comes out on Switch, and I'm definitely gonna see what they got going on with the. I'm sure it's more of the incredible work they've already been doing with the Geofront team, as well as I can't remember the guy's name. Starts with a D. The Durante.
Yes.
Durante.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, working together, they've been doing some incredible work. Already patching the previous release of Zero, incorporating some of my feedback. So it now has the auto text advance, which is something that I was, winging for. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see what they do in the Azure release. But But really, the one that's got me most hyped is to finally. I'm hoping to get through all of Cold Steel and maybe actually play Reverie this year. That would be so cool. That's what I'm looking forward to. What about you, Baku?
Do you think you can play through all the Cold Steel and get to Reverie in time?
I'm on Cold Steel 2 already.
That's fair. You have some time.
And Reverie comes out in July. So
if you don't sleep and don't take no break, you I'm kidding.
If I just don't make any reviews and I just keep on playing through the games and on Twitch.
Yeah.
If I don't dedicate any time to making the videos, whoops. If I don't dedicate any time to making the videos,
don't kill anything now, Derek.
then yeah, maybe I can make this work. What do you think?
I think you can do it. I believe in you.
And somebody mentioned just now the White Witch, which the Geofront is also working on.
Yeah. See, again, different scenario, right?
Uh-huh. This is a game
plans
from the year 2000.
Right.
Yeah. This is literally like the 2000 Windows XP release of the White Witch. Yeah, nobody's touching this.
Okay, so I think in part when they're doing this, they are kind of petitioning for an official release in a way. Because there's no plans for it, right?
Yeah.
But if maybe this revitalizes an interest in the West, then we can probably work something out, and maybe they'll get another deal. Well, they'll work with some like larger publisher and doing an official thing, right? And that's perfectly good, right? But yeah, it's not the same scenario. Not the same.
Yep. Anyways, so that is what I'm looking forward to. Baku, what are you looking forward to?
Probably still what, Like a Dragon Ishin.
Oh yeah, you did say that last time. That you
see, we did talk about this.
You can't do a repeat. You can't do it. What? Give me a different one.
I cannot do a repeat.
Actually, that might have been what I used last time.
What other game is coming out? No, I think you said something else. How about I actually don't know if it's coming out in 2023 or 2024, but God, I forget the name for a second. Auden Chronicles. Is that 23 or 24?
Oh my God, you're right. Yeah, that should be this year, 23? I think.
Is it this year?
I think so.
Yeah. Well,
don't quote us on this because we're trying to draw from memory.
There's so many games that are coming out. Yeah. If let's say that one's 24, then probably Final Fantasy 16. I mean, I'm looking forward to that. I want to see what Yoshi. I'm not so much interested in Final Fantasy as I'm interested in Yoshi P. Yeah. I don't care about Final Fantasy. Like Final Fantasy, it was dead to me as of 13. But Yoshi P being like this completely like, I don't know, like, I mean, he's a miracle worker. But what will he do with a mainline FF that isn't an MMO? Will he be able to pull a miracle, or is this just kind of like, that's just, a dead horse that we should just probably like walk away from? I don't know.
I guess we're going to find out. If he can't do it, who can?
That's what I'm thinking, right? So, we'll see.
Yeah. We got another super chat here from Mr. Duobeard, who says,
"Oh, Jesus, Duobeard, hi.
I know.
It's been a minute."
He says, "We believe in you, Derek. You can tackle these games." Yes. Let's hope so. I'm really hoping to. Gosh, I think we're maybe about 20 hours into Cold Steel 2 already, and it hits a little bit differently. I'm waiting for this. I feel like we are sitting on a powder keg that's about to blow up. And I'm just kind of curious to see where it's gonna go. But yeah. Oh yeah, we got some good. We're gonna be eating good on trails this year, I think. For sure.
We were already eating pretty good last year.
I mean, I am now
general.
eating. I'm talking about me specifically. I'm eating a bunch of trails this year.
You're eating a bunch of trails this year.
I am
trails mix, but
that's right. Oh no!
Oh my God! Oh no!
Yes. Welcome
Derek's
to
rubbing
the
off
fold.
on me. No!
One of us.
No! Oh God! That did not just come out of my mouth.
Yes, that's okay.
I gotta wash my mouth later.
So other people have said things like Armored Core 6. You know, that's got people excited.
Is it this year?
Sea of Stars.
Sea of Stars, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm stoked about Sea of Stars.
Oh man, yeah, but a lot of people also Eiyuden. Yep.
Aiden Chronicles, yeah.
We got a lot of awesome stuff coming out this year.
If I can pull the list really quick, I can take a quick sweep.
Oh yeah, do you have that list?
Yeah,
you should share that list with me someday.
Oh yeah, no, I just forgot to do it. I'll do it probably after the show. It's one of those things that I just forget to do. Trails. Oh, the Trails buffet. Eating good. #.
Oh yeah,
it's a new super chat.
Thank you so much, Eagle Knight. Welcome.
Thank you.
The Trails buffet. Oh man, it is all you can eat, huh?
Okay, are you ready for some 2023 games supposed to come out?
What do we got?
Okay, Forspoken.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I knew about that one, but I'm not super excited about
Ashen, Octopath Traveler 2.
Octo 2, yeah.
Atelier Riser 3. Wolong.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Let's see here. Motto Anomalies. Remember that one?
Yes. Oh, and Loop 8.
Loop 8. Yeah, Loop 8 is coming. Trinity Trigger is coming.
Yeah, Trinity Trigger. That's
Trails to Azure is coming.
Yep, March.
Let's see here. Final Fantasy 16 Trails into Reverie. Eternites, because I'm reading through this. Some of them are like not RPGs, like R type. Let's see, Fairy Fencer F. Disgaea 7 potentially next year.
Oh yeah,
we don't have an official date yet, but
yeah, wasn't there also something about Digimon?
No, that's okay. They said that they're gonna talk about games that are in development in the next Digimon.
Okay, but it might not actually be coming out this year.
Yeah, there's a Digimon game coming out, but that's Digimon World Next Order, and that's like that's the port. That's not a new game. But
Tears of
Digimon
the
fans,
Kingdom?
yeah, there are definitely new games coming. Oh, right, that's Zelda, right?
Yeah. Tears
new
of the
Zelda?
Kingdom. Yep, that's gonna be good.
New Zelda. Let's see here. Okay, so sometime 2023. Okay. So there's some games that are like in 2023 that doesn't have like an exact date, and I've set them to like a different place. Oh, 7 Rebirth. That's sometime in 2023, potentially.
Oh, also somebody here said Grand Blue Fantasy Relink is also supposed to come out.
Whenever that happens. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I
hope so.
I'll believe it when they give me a firm date. They've been pushing that thing, but I was so stoked for that because Grand Blue looks great.
I put out my first video. I made a video talking about RPGs I was hyped for, and it came out in 2018, and Grand Blue Fantasy was one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be like a stick in the mud, but I'll believe it when I see it. Fuga 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Fuga 2 is coming in 2023. East 10, sometime 2023. Yeah, so we've got a lot of good stuff coming.
Man, this is going to be a good year.
It's going to be a good year.
All right. Well, I do believe that is about all that we had on our docket for this evening. So if you guys enjoyed today's episode, please be sure to give it a like here on YouTube, or if you're listening to it elsewhere on the various podcast platforms of choice like Spotify or iTunes or Google Podcast, Stitcher, any of those, do whatever you can, subscribe, I guess, or something. And I hope that, you'll join us for our next one. Don't forget, again, just one final reminder that hoodie is going to be gone after the 22nd. So make sure you get in on it before that happens.
That's right. Hey, so you know what we haven't talked about today?
What's that?
What are you currently doing on Twitch? What are you doing?
Yes, I've been playing through Trails of Cold Steel 2 over on Twitch, actually. We recently finished up Zelda, the original, and started up on Cold Steel 2 over. I can't
believe Zelda was your palate cleanser.
I mean, it was the shortest action RPG I could think of. Completely unrelated.
That's
I mean, it's
true.
not actually an action RPG anyway, but
It's an
whatever.
adventure
Yeah.
game. I don't
Yeah,
know.
action adventure, probably.
Action adventure. Yeah.
But you know, I
Close
had to,
enough.
I had to return to it quickly. It left on a pretty wicked cliffhanger. So, what are you doing there, Baku?
I am just starting a new game called Ida Somnium Files Nirvana Initiative. It
Oh,
is
yeah.
the second game to the Ida Somnium series. Actually, I didn't include this, but they're actually talking about making a third game potentially. So I'm pretty excited. But you know, it's such a short, like, you know,
Throwaway
1-2
statement.
sentence
Yeah.
thing, you know.
It's not an
in-
announcement. It's just a
Yeah, so I didn't feel like including it, but they have mentioned it at least. So as a fan, I'm excited. But look, if there are more substantial news, I would definitely bring it up. There are also talks, by the way. I forgot to mention this. There are talks about some new games coming in the horizon, namely Musaku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation. There's a game coming. Since we're talking about tie-in games earlier,
Okay.
Goblin Slayer game is coming.
Oh.
There's a new Macross game coming apparently, but
Okay.
they're all Japan only, and there's like
Oh.
basically no information other than there's a game that's coming, like no gameplay footage, nothing.
Yeah.
So in case any one of you is sitting there like, how come you didn't talk about Jobless
That's why.
Reincarnation game?
We
You
just did.
suck. Nah. Look, for anyone who's new to this channel, look, I hear so much news coming from Japan. I filter it for things that has a Western release. Because if you don't have a Western release, then I am going to take it that there may not be a Western release ever, or that the only time that's worth talking about it is when that happens. But just know that we're keeping our ears very close to the source, and we're going to see if there will be things coming of interest. But also means that if I do talk about it or we talk about it in the show, you know that there's a Western release.
You can get hyped about it.
Yeah,
Responsibly.
responsibly.
And with that, have a good rest of your night, everybody.